Anyway, okay, we can get started if you want.
Yes, welcome to Behind the Game Podcast, episode 3. I'm keeping count now.
Yeah.
It's the 3rd of June. Happy June. Yay!
Woohoo! E3 month.
E3 month! No!
Yeah.
That starts next Saturday. So by this time next week, we'll have done EA's conference. We'll be looking at Squares. Hang on, I have a list in our Discord. Link in the description. I have a.
Oh yeah, that.
No, Squares is on Monday. By this time, no, we'll have only just seen EA's because Microsoft isn't until 9 PM my time. So I'll be waiting for the probably the most dire situation, but we'll get to that later. Because so for those who start, what have you been playing this week? Splatoon.
Me? Yeah, Splatoon. I mean, during the week I didn't play that much. I wanted to play. Played Splatoon when the new map came out and the new weapon, which I was waiting so long for. Other than that, not so. Pro Evolution Soccer because my cousin wanted to play it, and
yes, PES that's losing all its licenses.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I played a lot a few years ago with my friends, but hadn't.
What was the last PES I played? It would have been 2000.
Wow, that's really
a
long time ago. I was always a Konami football games player, also a bit FIFA back in the days, but I think PES 5 or so, or 4, started with that one again, and then it went up to, I don't know, PES 14 or something. And then I stopped playing, basically. It was kind of nice to go back to it. Part of that, I think I tried to play a bit of the Crew 2 beta, and it was so annoying to play the tutorial again, or the intro, or whatever it is.
I know this. Can we just...
Yeah, especially because I've played the beta before that, and I think when the game comes out, I have to go through that again, so it wasn't really...
Did it not carry your data over from the beta?
No, I think so.
Oh, good God. Alright.
Well, whatever. What did you play?
The Sushi Striker demo, which I liked, but financially not in a situation to buy the game at this point. Because goddammit, I need a job.
Yeah.
What did I play? The Mega Man Legacy Collections that came out on Switch.
Oh yeah, that.
Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, which I wrote an article on yesterday. I said I'd have it out by Saturday, and I did.
Yeah, you did.
Stuck to my word this time. Really enjoying that. Issues aside. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 on Monday for the stream.
Oh yeah.
Really enjoying that game. Ocarina of Time on Wednesday that I am now canon because Jesus Christ, I have no enthusiasm for that game.
Yeah, you never had any.
So next Wednesday's live stream will be just something random because I don't want to start something and then have the next Wednesday off because E3, you know.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So I'll just do something small next Wednesday. Overwatch for the community night on Friday.
Oh yeah,
that went horribly.
I heard.
We won like 2 things.
I would have liked to play with you, but I was busy, sadly.
To be fair, I hadn't played since the last time we played Overwatch, which would have been in February, so... it hasn't changed as much as I thought it would have.
That's the thing with these games, if you don't play them regularly, it's just...
I played a little bit of Pokemon Quest. When I say a little bit, I mean like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And then stopped. And that's... Oh, Pokemon Ultra Sun on my 3DS as well. Yeah. So, a lot of stuff. I play a lot of games.
Yeah. I didn't even play this Mario Tennis demo or what it is.
Nope.
But the others seem to be quite
Everybody else in the Discord was all over that. Yeah. And I'm just sat here going, I just do not care about Mario Tennis, but that's later down the list.
Yeah.
So, the first topic this week is Pokemon, because they said it would be revealed by the end of May, and it was, just.
And they did, yeah.
But the problem was how they chose to reveal it. I will forever say this is the single dumbest way to reveal something.
I actually didn't really...
It was leaked beforehand to be a thing that was happening, and I would have been up anyway. It was 2 in the morning, my time. 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Where at 1:30 a.m. the Pokemon account tweeted out, there's an event starting in Japan in half an hour.
What?
Stay tuned for live tweets for information on the next Pokemon games. And I'm just like going, what?
Okay.
And it's like they didn't live stream the event. The way they got information out, and this was a big problem in the immediate aftermath, was they had journalists there, and so what we were basically getting was announcements of these Pokemon games from second-hand people at an event. And it was just like, okay, stop. Just live stream the event. And you know what screwed up? The event's actually available to watch on YouTube now.
Okay.
Why they just didn't do that?
That sounds really unprofessional. What happened there?
And at the second time, it was at 2 in the goddamn morning.
Wait, what's that in the Japanese time?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Okay, that's...
We're 8 hours behind.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the hell are you doing? But, you know, that aside, because it led to a lot of misinformation. I will say that now. There was a lot of misinformation, because that's what happens when you have people tweet out news from an event, and that's how you get the information out. That is the dumbest... whatever.
Yeah.
But they revealed a few things. The first was a mobile and Switch game called Pokemon Quest, which when I saw it, I thought, okay, it's kind of like Pokemon Rumble. And it is. In that you have the first 151 Pokemon.
Okay.
And they all look kind of Robloxy, Minecrafty, Cubey kind of thing.
Oh, that's... yeah, I saw a picture of that.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, interesting spin-off. And fun note, this is the first spin-off in Pokemon that has been developed by the main developers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every other spin-off has been someone else. This is the first one done by Game Freak. And I was like, okay, so this is a mobile and Switch game, and I was playing it on Switch because it released then and there. It's coming out on Switch later, on mobile later this month. It's got microtransactions and everything. It is... oh my god. When I say a game plays itself,
okay.
I make it sound like it's... you know, like how some people say a Sonic game would play itself, where you have control, but it's... you know...
But you didn't mean that, I guess.
This game literally plays itself. I'm not joking. You go explore, and you get put in a space, and your Pokemon just walks around of its own accord, you can't control that, and then waves of wild Pokemon appear. And they auto-attack, and you have an option of 2 attacks you can do with your Pokemon that then have to recharge, you know, just over time. And then you go on and go on and go on and beat the boss, and then that's it. And it's like, okay. And then it dawned on me. There's an auto option. This game can literally play itself.
Oh, you can deactivate that, or what?
Yeah, the only input you have when that's not on is selecting moves.
Okay.
And then waiting for the recharge and then doing it again. And it's just like, oh my god.
Well, it's exactly what you would expect when you hear mobile game, I guess.
When I heard mobile game, that's kind of what I expected, but then I realised it's like, this is on the Switch.
Yeah, that's what's...
This is clearly made for a touchscreen, and yes, the Switch has one, but here I am in docked mode, screen sharing it to my friend in America who wanted to see what it was, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done. And apparently it gets very, very grindy.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
And it's like, okay, this was clearly made for mobile, they're just getting it out on Switch just to say there's something Pokemon on there.
Yeah, I guess the problem is if you take away the interactive element, if the player doesn't actually play the game, what's the point of...
It'll be a good mobile game.
Yeah, probably, yeah, but... I don't know.
But if this didn't have the Pokemon brand attached to it, there'd be nothing there.
Exactly, that's the point. So...
That's just... I'd say that even on mobile, if it didn't have the Pokemon brand attached, it just wouldn't take off.
Is it for free on mobile?
It's free on mobile and Switch.
And Switch?
Microtransactions, though. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's how they get you.
Obviously.
So I played about 10 minutes of that, and then said no. The second reveal was what we've talked about before. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and it was exactly as the first rumours said they were. The rumours that came out on 4chan on the 1st of April.
Yep.
I don't blame anybody for not believing that. 4chan, April 1st.
Of course.
But it was real. And I've mellowed on this once the miscommunication stopped, because that's what really hindered this. Was that earlier mentioned miscommunication, where it's like, oh, there's no online, and then it turns out there is online. It's like, oh, thank God. Because it sounded like there was going to be a Pokemon game in 2018 without online trading or battles.
Which would make no sense.
No sense, because Diamond Pearl did that.
Yeah.
Fire Red and Leaf Green did that, for God's sake. You know, just that very nearly had me roll, just head in hands. So, Pokemon Let's Go is effectively a remake of Pokemon Yellow. We've talked about this before. It's basically a remake of Pokemon Yellow. And depending on which game you choose, you get Pikachu or Eevee as your starter. Neither of them can evolve, but you can apparently catch another Pikachu or another Eevee to evolve.
Oh, okay.
So that's fine. And it's Kanto again.
Yeah, that's what I also read, and I just had to thought about.
And I'm just sat there like, cool. Yeah. But then it dawned on me. I was curious. It's like, oh my god, how much of Gen 1 is this going to be? And it's... I'm very happy to see that in the trailer they showed a Cloyster using Shell Smash, which means it's not limited to just Gen 1 movesets. Thank God. So it has all the moves up to Gen 7. It'll have all the like little stat buffs the Pokemon have received over time. It'll have the Fairy type. It'll have, basically it'll be Gen 7 mechanically.
Well, at least it would be really frustrating if they...
If it went back to Gen 1, I'd be crying because I don't want to see a Psychic type in that setting ever again. Because I like being able to win. But then it dawned on me, it's like, that'd be really cool, because Gen 4 Split did this thing called the Physical Special Split, where previously moves were determined to be physical or special purely based on their type. Now it's based on the move itself, and because of this, before Generation 4, Gengar was useless.
Okay.
You have a Ghost type and a Poison type. Both Ghost and Poison are physical. Why is Gengar a special attacker?
Huh.
But then Shadow Ball and Sludge Bomb became special moves, and suddenly Gengar's the best damn thing in the game. Lots of Generation 1 Pokemon benefited from that, and benefited from moves that were introduced later, and changes that came later. So the idea of me going back to Kanto and experiencing it again, but more, I don't want to say mechanically sound, but more mechanically developed.
More variety.
That's enticing. I'm down for that.
Yeah, at least it's something new in that way.
It's something new in that way, and it means I never have to play Fire Red and Leaf Green again. Because going back to before the Physical Special Split is quite difficult.
Yeah,
because some Pokemon play just completely differently at that point. But then the little question marks start rising up. So that all sounds really cool. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Then we get into the and then we get into the stuff I don't like. So the is probably what you will also find quite
Yeah.
Only the original 151 Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I read that. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'll let this slide. It's a remake of Yellow. Fine. It annoys me that my Golbat will never evolve into a Crobat, and my Magmar will never evolve into a Magmortar.
Well, especially if you grew fond of those.
Especially because they're good.
Yeah.
Like Crobat, good. Golbat, bad. There's a massive gap between Crobat and Golbat. One is useless Team Rocket fodder. The other is actually good.
Okay.
So that's and then you can send stuff to Pokemon Go and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, that's fine, whatever. There's this little Pokeball accessory that's an actual controller. Has a joystick and everything that you can send a Pokemon into, and you can walk around with it and stuff, and you get bonuses from that. So it's like the Pokewalker.
Interesting. Yeah,
but it's also got a joystick. And it's like, someone's got to beat Dark Souls with this.
Probably someone will, yeah.
If they did it with the DK bongos, they can do it with this.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's okay. It's $50 though.
Well,
yeah,
it's okay for a Pokemon game, I guess.
For a Pokemon game controller.
Oh yeah, just for the controller. Oh, I thought for the bundle.
The games are $60 a piece.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I mean, fine, whatever. It's a Switch game. I kind of expected it. Now, the things I don't like. It's a remake of Gen 1, which means when we're done with the game, the entirety of the post game is capsulated in one word: Mewtwo.
What? Okay.
Gen 1 had exactly one thing to do after you beat the game. Go get Mewtwo.
Okay.
That was it.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, because if they don't add post-game stuff to this game,
then
and it just stops at you become the champion, you caught Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Catch all the Pokemon, and then what? Do it again while waiting for the next game? At that point, I just go back to Ultra and just dick around in there.
Or play any other game,
Because, having an RPG like this in 2018 with no post-game whatsoever, especially because Gen 1 isn't very big.
Okay.
It's a decent-sized RPG.
Okay.
But it's not big by Pokemon standards. It's a Game Boy game. Of course it's not.
Yeah, of course, but you gotta ask why they did that. I mean,
we know why. We know why. We'll get to why. That's something else I don't agree with.
Okay.
The other massive red flag for me is wild Pokemon battles are no longer a thing. So you can no longer battle wild Pokemon.
Okay.
You can battle trainers. We've seen that. That's the same as it's always been. Good. But you can't actually fight a wild Pokemon. So, whereas previously it was encounter the Pokemon, weaken them, status condition, throw a ball. There was strategy involved.
Exactly.
And risk and reward to making them easier to catch, to make it more in your favour. Now, it's Pokemon Go.
Just catch them? Yeah, yeah. Okay.
You have the shrinking circle, you throw the ball, and you pray.
Okay.
The way of making it easier to work and easier to catch is now gone.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, that's questionable.
Yeah, definitely.
But you can now see wild Pokemon in the overworld, and you can only battle a wild Pokemon if you actually physically run into said wild Pokemon, which I think is a good change.
Uh-huh.
So it's like Chrono Trigger now.
Well, wait, what? How was it before?
If you were running around in a cave, any tile you're running on could potentially spawn a wild encounter.
Oh yeah, okay, I see.
Now it's you actually have to run into the Pokemon on the overworld.
Mm. Yeah, that's not so bad. Yeah.
That's a good change. I like that. Also, it makes the areas feel more alive.
Yeah, sure.
Seeing these Pokemon run around. Yeah, that's good. I like that. But the catching Pokemon, like in Pokemon Go, it's like, no.
Yeah, it's kind of what you, I think, predicted before. Or
it's what was leaked before. Catching works like in Pokemon Go, and I was like, no.
But we weren't sure if the leak was accurate or not. But
that April 1st leak was 100% on the money, and it's horrifying to think that.
Yeah. Sadly.
But there's also 2-player local co-op, which is cool.
Oh, cool.
So that's nice.
Is it the first time, or did they do that
first
before?
time.
Okay, cool.
So that's cool. Down for that. I've had someone to play with. No, I can play with Louis, because Louis seems to just randomly kick out a Pokemon despite knowing nothing about it.
Well, that's a start.
So that's a thing, that's cool as well. But, there's some question marks, there are some questionable decisions, and they said the reason for this was to kind of bring Pokemon back to its basics and create like a bridge game between Pokemon Go and the main series games we're getting next year. They announced that in the second half of 2019, Generation 8, they specifically said Gen 8, will launch on the Switch.
Interesting. So
what they did is they avoided the Federation Force by saying, look, there's this weird spin-off RPG light thing here, but the main game, the thing specifically they said, the game we announced at E3 2017 is the late 2019 game.
Yeah, that's what they said.
This is not that. It's like, okay, good. Sucks I have to wait another year for the game that I personally want. But
at least you get something to
mess around. I'll get it and I'll mess around with it.
Yeah.
But it's just not going to be particularly exciting to me. But they said the reason they did it was to strip it back down to basics. To get the people, the 800 million people who play Pokemon Go, by the way, to get into the main series. And it's like, okay, I'm down with that idea. And the thing I've heard a lot of people on the internet say is that, yes, I like Pokemon, but after like Gen 2, they just dropped out because they thought it was getting too much.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, okay. I mean, Gen 3 introduced 135 new Pokemon. So it went from 251 to 386. It's sad, I know that. And it's like, that's not a huge jump. The jump from Gen 1 to Gen 2 was from 151 to 251.
Yeah.
And as each game has gone on, the mechanics have also been gradually refined. So now the mechanics from what they remember to now are completely different.
Of course, yeah.
And there's going to be a lot more going on. But it's a simpler way to get them in without completely alienating them.
Yeah, I guess
there's some Pokemon Go stuff there. Yeah. Now, the thing is, there seems to be experience points, but they also list CP from Pokemon Go when you're catching a wild Pokemon, and I don't know if that's because you can transfer them between the games.
Maybe.
So CP will translate into levels, and levels will translate into CP, and vice versa. Maybe? I don't know. We don't know. We haven't seen enough yet. Maybe at E3. But then The logic behind making this a game for those lapsed Pokemon fans, kind of lost out, falls apart completely. And I say this because this game exists as a bridging game, right? Exactly. Only the Pokemon you remember, in the region you remember, simple, clean, no complication. Gen 8 is going to be Generation 8.
Yeah.
What you're going to have is people coming from this, and then they're going to go to Gen 8, and they are going to have, I'm just going to estimate here, 890 Pokemon.
Wow, that would be
point.
Really...
Okay, so let's think. They will go from the 151 they know to the full 890. It's 807 now. I predict there's going to be about another 80 Pokemon or so in Gen 8.
Yeah, that will be overwhelming for those players.
That's going to be huge. And these are people who couldn't go from Gen 2 to 3.
Exactly.
How do they think they're going to handle going from Let's Go to Gen 8? They're not.
Unless they, I don't know, roll out the Pokemon gradually, like Splatoon does with the weapons or so.
Or like how they're doing in Pokemon Go.
Yeah, or maybe...
Which is up to Gen 3 now, by the way.
Okay.
So why isn't this Gen 1 to 3 Pokemon in here? That'd be a lot better than just Gen 1, but whatever.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But the logic here just kind of falls apart, because then you've also got to realise that this bridge game is going to be the only thing that has the Pokemon Go catching mechanics. In the new game, you're going to have to teach them the new catching mechanics anyway. You're going to have to introduce all these new features like Mega Evolutions, Z-moves, all the new Pokemon at once. And that was something these same fans who are now interested in this couldn't handle in a small dose.
Exactly.
So I'm going to ask these fans a question directly. You can say you're interested in Pokemon Let's Go, and I completely understand why. But are you really going to get into Gen 8 from that? I personally think no. Because if you couldn't go from Gen 2 to 3, or Gen 1 to 2, you're not going to go from Gen 1 to Gen 8.
I think the only way I can see that work is that the Gen 8 game also has some kind of transition tutorial or
well,
just introducing them slowly, I don't know, all the mechanics. But I guess that would put off the people who've played all the other games already.
Probably do that in the other games anyway.
Yeah.
But, okay, I get why the game exists, but the logic, I don't see it panning out the way the people who are interested in Let's Go think it will pan out, because I don't think they've accounted for the fact that you're going to have a bigger jump now than the jump that turned you off in the first place.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's like, if you aren't willing to do it then, you're not going to do it now. Absolutely no way in hell. But then there's also the traditional Pokemon fans who are happy that, yay, our game's coming next year. Who are looking at this and going, oh, for God's sake, Kanto again. And people are going, oh, they're not pandering to Gen 1ers, why are you blaming us? And it's like, because they have been trying to get you back into the games for 5 fucking years.
Of course.
Literally, X and Y. That game had an identity, smothered by Kanto. What's that? The first dungeon is Viridian Forest again. Literally, tile for tile.
Okay.
What's that? The 6th gym is Sabrina's gym again. Tile for tile. What's that? There's a Snorlax blocking the path and you need the Pokeflute. What's that? A guy gives you a Lapras. The first wild Pokemon you encounter is a Pidgey. You get the Kanto starters. Team Flare is just Team Rocket.
So basically it's the same.
X and Y was basically Gen 1 again. And then every game after that has had its own special kind of Gen 1 love, like the Alolan forms, which are, regional variation. Oh, the Pokemon in a different environment will change type, or moves, or abilities to suit their new environment. Great idea! So much potential. Why is it just Gen 1 stuff?
Yeah. Maybe they're trying to bank on all the retro hype, whatever.
They were. That's exactly what they were doing.
Get the same every time.
But they're like, hey, look, Team Rocket's coming back. And it's like, cool. And now I'm looking at this game and I'm going, cool. Everyone's going, we get to fight Team Rocket again. It's like, yeah, that'd be great if we didn't do it last year. Literally the game before this one.
Yeah.
One of the big selling points on the actual back of the bloody box is Team Rocket. And it's like, okay. Nostalgia only works if you hadn't been beating us over the head for the past 5 years. You need to let it... You need to give time.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you overdo it, then people
And
will...
Gen 1, for the people who've been playing Pokemon for the past 5 years, these fans who are coming into Let's Go need to understand that that the core Pokemon fans are upset about the Gen 1 stuff because we are just sick of seeing it.
Understandable. I mean...
It's like the Sonic fans in Green Hill. Just stop. Please.
Yeah.
We get it.
Something.
Green Hill.
Something.
Or Mario. World 1's a grassland.
Yeah.
World 2's a desert. World 3's the ocean.
Yeah.
Stop.
Exactly.
Please. Mario
Just do
3
something
happened.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, repetition. Just
It's repetitive, and it was cool in X and Y, despite the fact it overshadowed all the new stuff. I think it was handled better in Sun and Moon. But, you know, just let this be the last of it.
I don't know, maybe... I mean, other game series do the same. Like, I don't know, Call of Duty, FIFA, or whatever. All those games that come out yearly, or nearly every year. Maybe they're trying to replicate the success they had, I don't know.
I mean, okay, here's one theory I'm hearing going around. 2018, Pokemon Let's Go. 2019, Generation 8.
Yeah.
2020, Pokemon Let's Go 2. 2021, Diamond and Pearl remakes.
Okay, I can see a pattern.
So they kind of do a Call of Duty and alternate.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, sounds like it.
I can get behind that, as long as I get my Diamond and Pearl remakes, and they're not touched by Pokemon Go.
Yeah, if the core games are good, I guess.
Well, the core game's probably going to be good. Apparently they've been developing the core game longer than Pokemon Let's Go.
Yeah, I hope so.
They straight up said, the core game coming out next year was in development before the Switch released.
Oh, okay.
And it's like,
Well, it would be
wait, that means it was in development from, say it with me, when Sun and Moon launched.
Yeah, well...
Like I've been saying,
sense.
because I've had so many people say they can't make a game in that much time. When do you think it started development? I said, well, let's see. X and Y started development when Black and White came out. And Sun and Moon started when X and Y came out. So this game, Gen 8, will have started when Sun and Moon came out.
Sure, why
Lo
not?
and behold, that's the case.
Yeah.
But that's... I mean, I'll get the game. I'll play it. I'm not going to be, like, super excited for it, because it's not new. It sure as hell isn't new to me.
Yeah,
And, you know, it's not aimed directly at me, because I'm already in the series.
exactly.
I'm used to the mechanical, altered space, alternate dimension, alien, 807 Pokemon deep. You know,
And just the depth of complexity, yeah.
yeah, I'm used to the complexity. I like the complexity. But if it gets more people in, and they're not afraid of the jump from Gen 1 to Gen 8,
That would
then
be
by
fine.
all means, you know, I'm all for it. But it's just kind of, again, miscommunication was the big problem.
Yeah, I mean, getting all those Pokemon Go players to the Switch is a
They're
good
not going to
idea.
get all 800 million,
But, yeah, exactly, they can't do that, so how will
but
they...
they're going to get a lot of them, I think.
Maybe, if they do it right, I guess.
Granted, you've also got to get a lot of them to spend what is effectively $360 for a Switch in the
Yeah,
game.
of course. Well, maybe they have some other reason to buy the Switch, and then they do it, I don't know.
Oh, we're going to talk about people buying the Switch, because you know how Nintendo said 20 million
Yeah,
units this year? It's like, now that's very real.
yeah,
I was doubting
definitely
it, and then it's like, I looked at some stuff, and it's like, it's happening now. That might be underselling.
Yeah, it could definitely go over 20.
I think it will. So next thing, because I've ranted about Pokemon now, got it out my system. Battlefield 5. So
Yeah.
this followed on a few days, maybe I think a week after Call of Duty Black Ops 4,
Probably, yeah.
and they is it Battlefield V or Battlefield 5?
Not sure.
It's 5.
Think.
They should have said Battlefield 5. Which doesn't make sense following on from Battlefield 1, but, you know, Xbox numbering. Let's do
Yeah.
that.
Don't
They
try to...
revealed it. And, okay, it's going to have a campaign. +1 over Call of Duty. It's going to have the usual multiplayer. It's going to be a Battlefield game. I said,
Yeah.
that's
Not
nice.
surprising.
And they also said, no loot boxes, no pay to win,
Yeah,
all
that's
DLC is free. And I'm sat there going, asterisk at launch, because you know it'll show up at some point.
Well, it's still an improvement, I guess. I mean,
I ain't trusted them that far. You know,
Yeah.
I think it won't be there when the game comes out.
maybe.
But give it a few months, you know. When the sales taper off, they'll suddenly have another way to monetize the game.
Yeah, if they want, they will show
It's EA.
Yeah, definitely.
But-
And I mean, it's surprising enough that they won't do it at launch. I mean, I hadn't expected that.
So, The game was announced. Comes out October 12th. Right in between... No, it's not October 12th. October 19th. Right in between Call of Duty and Red Dead Redemption.
Which
normally I would say rest in peace.
Yeah.
But I think Battlefield has a real chance against Call of Duty this year.
Yeah, it could. Definitely.
But there was controversy. Controversy in massive air quotes. And I assume you saw this. Because I sure as hell saw this a lot. The hashtag not my Battlefield.
Oh, that? No, I didn't really see that.
You're lucky. They were complaining that the box art had a woman on the front.
Ah, that one! Ah, yeah, of
and
course.
that a woman in World War II is historically inaccurate, and then my response to that is, when the hell has Battlefield been accurate?
Yeah, and then why shouldn't women...
You can stand on the back of a horse with a flamethrower, fire into the tank.
Yeah. When has any war game ever been accurate? I mean,
the closest I can think is Medal of Honor.
Maybe, I haven't played...
Because that actually had veteran recounted footage and stuff in it.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's cool.
But Battlefield? Accurate? We're ignoring the fact this woman also has a cybernetic arm, right? Like, a video game, people.
Yeah, it's a game, it's not a simulation. Otherwise, it wouldn't be that fun.
And there were women in World War II. Thank you very much.
Of course there were. How could they think they weren't?
You know, and they're saying, oh, this is unrealistic. And it's like, yes, look at this woman sliding around the ground with a cybernetic arm, beating people to death with a baseball bat with nails through it. How dare it not be realistic?
Yeah. It makes you wonder about those people's worldview or whatever they think the world is. Really questionable.
Okay, hang on. I need to pause this real quick. I shall be 2 minutes. Now the viewers won't know because I can pause the recording. Alright, continuing on. That was Battlefield 5. Stupid controversy.
Yeah, really stupid.
Question I want to ask though: do you think it will outsell Call of Duty Black Ops 4?
I mean, it's hard to say because Call of Duty does have Battle Royale, and while I think it's clear what I think about that, it could be that many people will actually like that combination, so I'm not really sure. From my perspective, Battlefield 5 should be more successful, but could be opposite as well.
Where I'm looking, Battlefield 5 feels like it'll be the better game.
Yeah,
it'll be the better reviewed game.
Definitely, yeah, but will it sell more? I don't know. Just because, I mean, it's basically like a keyword now, Battle Royale, and that it has Battle Royale and
plus
maybe
Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's two keywords, actually, two buzzwords. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I think Battlefield will be the better game, definitely. No doubt about that, but hard to say. There are those people who just buy what has the most buzzwords, or I don't know, maybe they just want something.
Call of Duty, it'll sell more here.
Yeah.
Without question, because I live in the UK. I can tell you the best sellers of the year just as sure as I can tell when it's 2 PM every day.
Yeah. So I'm not sure which one of those two.
Okay, so.
But as you mentioned, Red Dead Redemption 2 will.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to sell well.
Yeah, that will really sell well. So.
I like how every publisher has moved into like early October and September to try and avoid Red Dead Redemption 2, thus killing each other without realizing, wait, August and July exist. And there's this thing called months after Red Dead Redemption 2, called November.
It's called also the Christmas holiday period, I think.
It's like, you might do yourself a favour going later.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not
like
other...
all the games coming out in September on PS4. It's like, oh look, we're gonna push Dragon Quest 11 in the West by releasing it on PS4 on this day in September. 2 days later, Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, well, rip that dream.
And on Switch, of course, we'll have probably Smash. I don't know in that period. So could be
and Pokemon in November.
Oh yeah, and that of course. Yeah,
you know, two franchises that are immune to Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, of course, but I mean, generally there will be a lot of huge games going out, and then there are those that we'll probably be talking about in a few minutes.
So, yeah, let's move on to Nintendo's E3 leak. This is the only E3 leak from Nintendo, I believe, because this is an actual order form.
Yeah.
So this initial one is real, as far as I care, because it's being corroborated. There is stuff there that we can either pretty much guarantee is coming, we know is coming, or stuff that is so not been announced yet, but is so obviously coming for reasons we will explain. And also some not surprises. This doesn't look like everything they're going. We know this isn't everything they're going to have on the show floor. They've already confirmed Smash is going to be on the show floor.
No, of course they can't. They can't have all of those. I don't think that, but
because this isn't everything that's going to be on the show floor, but it is some
everything that will come from the Switch, probably.
Yes, this is going to be some of what Nintendo will have playable in their booth.
Yeah,
but not all of it. Remember that, and also remember that all of what they have on the show floor isn't all of what they're going to show.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, just remember, this is not be all end all of their E3. But this week, so let's go over the games we know are coming already. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, already announced.
You know about that. Yeah.
Starlink Battle for Atlas, already announced last E3. And Mario Tennis Aces, going to give it one last push before it releases.
Of course.
Perfectly logical.
And, of course, FIFA 19 just recently
got revealed. Well, it didn't get revealed because FIFA 19 hasn't been revealed yet, but they talked about the Switch version specifically.
Exactly, and I think that's enough to be sure that it will come. So I mean, it was their head developer or producer or something from their studios.
I love that little team who got like a shoestring budget and to make a custom engine.
Yeah, I think they're from Romania, right?
Yeah, Romania. And it's like you can see them at Gamescom. Nintendo was showing FIFA a lot. And these guys, they were so passionate about this thing. They were really proud of what they'd achieved in like half a year with no money. And it's like, I would shake your hand, sir.
Yeah, of course.
For this pretty much miracle you pulled off.
It was such a great job. I mean, people always have to remember, and that's something that often people forget. It's if you like have hate for a publisher like EA or whatever, you have to distinguish between those and the actual developers, their teams. They're not evil or anything.
So what this guy confirmed is it's going to be the same custom engine, just updated heavily. Apparently, it's going to be night and day.
Yeah, and I hope they will push it as far as they can.
They're going to push it as far as they can because they have a custom engine. They can tailor it specifically to the Switch.
Yeah,
and it's like so funny enough, I have been saying this for ages. I said FIFA 19 wasn't coming because
many people thought that. Me too.
Just because not. Because of how FIFA 18 sold, but because of EA's own comments. Publicly, they said FIFA 18 needs to sell, then we'll decide future support. But when FIFA 18 came out, they changed that to, we want to see demand after a full year on the market, which is March 2018. And I thought, okay, they're not going to greenlight anything until March. How the hell is FIFA coming out?
Exactly.
That was my... Based on everything they had said publicly, I had no reason to believe FIFA was coming. But here it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I will buy it, I think, but
no, but it's a huge game.
It's still nice. Yeah, that's the thing. So it's good.
And I just published an article on UK eShop sales. FIFA 18 is number 1.
Oh yeah,
because it's on sale for the World Cup.
Yeah,
it literally shot straight up, like overnight, and it's like, I think EA's taking the message. They price it right.
Yeah, of course.
It's a massive seller. Like, people are saying, oh, it didn't do too well at retail. And it's like, yeah, but digitally, though.
Exactly, that's the thing.
But those are the games we all know are coming. Then we have Overcooked 2. Now, this is... Overcooked sold, I think, 500,000 units on the Switch?
Yeah, I think it did.
It sold really well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Team 17 was like, hey, let's do another one.
Why not?
So, Team 17 is pretty much all in on the Switch at this point. I can't think of a game they're making that isn't coming at this point. So that I could see coming. It did really well on the Switch. They're happy with it. The fans are happy with it.
Yeah.
Do another one.
Sure. Totally.
Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. There's no reason it shouldn't be on the Switch.
Exactly. It's a great fit. Why shouldn't it? I mean,
it can run on very low-end PCs.
Exactly.
And Bandai Namco has basically turned around and said, whoops, regarding Switch support, so I fully expect it to be there.
Of course. I mean, that's one of those that totally makes sense.
And then we have this thing called Killer Queen Black. Now, I had to look this up, and the first thing that came up was, of course, the Queen song.
Okay.
But I looked to find out what Killer Queen was. It is a arcade game in America in very limited locations that is apparently really good from people who played it. And it's a 5v5 RTS.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a good fit for the system.
It probably is. I mean,
whatever form Killer Queen Black is.
Yeah. I mean, from the looks of it, it's not something that I would play, but I can see it do well on the Switch. Why not?
Well, yeah, I can't see it doing as well as it would on the Switch as it would on any other system, because it's a 5v5 arcade game.
Yeah, of course not, but...
that just feels like a match made in heaven, but of course, we actually need to see what this game is first.
Exactly.
Because all we know is the original Killer Queen. And then we get into the two big ones. So one, we know is coming, even though they haven't said it, and that's Paladins.
Yeah.
We can... there is no shot in hell this game's not coming. So they said, like last year I think, that they'd like to do something on the system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I meant.
And then people data mined some recent updates, and they found like references to this thing called Oasis, which in other languages was just straight up called the Nintendo account. And then they found images for the Joy-Con.
Joy-Cons, exactly.
And then in the most recent update earlier this week, they found updated images for the Joy-Cons, references to the eShop and buying crystals. And it's like, okay, come on now.
We basically know it will come in.
Paladins is coming.
Of course, why shouldn't it? It's just
it's in Unreal Engine 4.
Overwatch. I mean, yeah, exactly. Why shouldn't it come to Switch?
It's a hero shooter. And, Overwatch isn't going to come, so...
Yeah, so they will fill that space.
They'll fill that space. I'll tell you now, the first major FPS, the first Battle Royale game, and the first hero shooter, make bank.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And Call of Duty's missing that ship, so...
who cares?
So Paladins, it's not confirmed, but it's confirmed.
It's basically confirmed.
That stuff's not in the PC version for no reason.
And I mean, I'll probably get it, I think. I mean, I could get it on PC always, but...
I'll try it.
Yeah, at least if they include motion controls. I'm quite...
And then the big one. On here, it has how many demo units, I think it is, that they're going to have per game.
Yeah.
And the two that have the most are Mario Tennis Aces with 8, and this game with 8. This game is pretty much coming, given who makes it, what else it's on, and what it is. And that's Fortnite.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Everyone is obvious.
Was thinking this. Yeah, everyone was talking about it for months, and
because this mobile version just shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah, how can it come to iOS but not to the Switch?
But here's the thing: the mobile phones, yes, they have the huge overheads and everything.
Yeah.
So obviously, running games on it is harder, but it uses the mobile version of Unreal Engine 4. The Switch doesn't. It uses the same as the other systems. It just has a mobile chipset.
Yeah.
But the big thing to note here is, Fortnite's made by Epic Games, the guys who made Unreal Engine.
So, yeah, why shouldn't they have a problem of downscaling?
They're not going to have they put the damn engine on the Switch. They made this game.
That's
go.
A no-brainer.
Money.
If they want it, they will do it. Done.
But I'll try Fortnite because I've been thinking about trying it.
Sure.
I just never had
me too.
Inclination to, and it's gonna piss off teachers.
Probably.
For God's sake, when everybody stopped playing their Switches, playing Fortnite.
Yeah, the thing is, when Fortnite was, I think, before even the alpha beta started, when they first showed it, I was actually really excited about the Save the World mode, where you build stuff and protect it with people, with friends or whatever. And then I forgot about the game. Then it came out. Then the Battle Royale came, and then everything changed. So
it's ahead of PUBG now. It's the biggest game on Twitch. It's like if Nintendo rocks up to E3 and says Fortnite playable later this week,
the Switch,
because it's a free-to-play game,
I think the internet will explode.
It would just there goes the eShop.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Don't buy anything this week.
No, you can't. Yeah, I mean,
you take the hottest game right now onto the hottest system right now.
At this point, it would be stupid not to do that.
It's stupid not to. PUBG missed the boat.
Oh yeah, they did.
They did.
I mean, Fortnite is a better fit anyway. Although they could both be on Switch, of course. But I don't see any reason why Fortnite shouldn't come to Switch. There's really no reason.
There's no reason not to. But this league, I think, is real.
No, because everything that's in the league makes kind of
sense. It's either confirmed, completely logical from a sales perspective, or logical from a it's obviously coming perspective.
Yeah. And that's what makes this league so believable. Because
of course, this is only one sheet. You know, we already know Smash Bros. Is going to be there, Fire Emblem's going to be there, Yoshi's going to be there, Pokemon's going to be there. You know, you know, when you word it like that, when they said they were going to talk about just 2018 games this year, that's a big 2018.
If it's really, I mean, yeah, it could be all 2018 games. Sure, makes sense.
Well, they said that's what we're going to have there, so this could all be. You know, fair enough.
On the other hand, they could say it's only 2018 games, and in the end, it's other games as well. I mean, I wouldn't take their word that strictly in that case.
Well, this is just. It's real. It's exciting. That's all I care about.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. And then, of course, there was this other leak about the. What was it? The classification in Korea for Fortnite?
Yeah, it's like from Epic Games Korea, and it's like, just announce it.
Yeah, it's silly just to say it.
It's like the only more confirmation we need is Walmart leaking it.
Yeah. that's now the official confirmation. Yeah.
Alright, so from one company's E3 leak that looks really good to oh god, why? So remember how we talked about Microsoft at E3 needing to be 10 out of 10 or everyone's going to be disappointed because, you know, Xbox fans at the end of the rope, the industry watching is just like, come on, do something.
Yeah.
So they said they're going to rock out with 5 things. Halo 6, good choice, as long as it's good.
Definitely.
Forza Horizon 4, we already know it's coming, good choice, we know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And then the last 3. These last 3 games, personally, and not just to me, but to Xbox fans as well, is if this is real and this is Microsoft's E3, then we're not going to come away from E3 going, wow, that was amazing. We're going to come away going, oh dear.
Yeah,
because this kind of puts them in the same position as the Wii U was at this point.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Because the 3 games that are rumoured are Gears of War 5. Okay, fine.
Sure. Okay.
Gears of War, but a real-time strategy game. And Gears of War Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Now...
I mean, why?
Come on. Really? Microsoft, that's the best you've got. That's it.
I don't know. For me, it's just confirmation for what I've been saying before. That I don't know. At some point, the Xbox could maybe just. I don't know.
If this E3 is real, if this is real, I'm not being sarcastic here.
No,
they're going to lose the Xbox fan base.
Yeah, they will, and then at some point it will just be PlayStation and or Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft on PC. That's what I've been thinking for a few years now.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
At all.
Why would anyone get it?
You know, more than ever, I think the thing Microsoft needs to do is not only come up with games, but also re-energize the community. But they can't do that with this.
That too. Yeah, that's the problem. If this goes on, they have to abandon it. I think at some point. Maybe not
if
now.
This is their saving grace for the Xbox One.
Yeah, if it is, I don't know.
I would just say stop and give the Xbox 2 the best damn lineup you can possibly give it.
Yeah.
All these games that are not out yet, push them to the Xbox 2.
Yeah. But then they have really have to do a better job. Otherwise, I think it will become pointless. If they lose out to Sony again. I mean, that's the thing. The Nintendo consoles always have their own place, their own market or niche, and Microsoft and Sony are always coming for the same place, basically. I don't know.
I look at this and I go, come on, really? That's it? This is it?
I mean, I have nothing against Microsoft. I actually kind of like them, but sometimes I really think they should focus on PC gaming. Maybe that would be better.
It's just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best you have.
It's kind of pointless.
This isn't exciting. It's not interesting. It's not going to sell the system to anybody new.
Exactly.
Which is the first big hurdle.
Yeah, I mean, it produces overhead for them still. It costs. I mean, they probably will still make some profit of it. I don't know, but
I mean, Microsoft can absorb any losses the Xbox brand makes.
Yeah, they can definitely. But I don't know what's the point of it if it's going on like this.
That's just depressing to think about.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-hour show as well.
Yeah, I won't watch that.
It's like, please, God, no. Don't be real. Please. Okay.
Unless they come around with some big surprise. I don't see
They'd have to have a lot of developers,
Yeah.
but they don't have 3. So, on to lighter topic. Mega Man 11 got a release date. Woo! October 2nd.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm down with that. And for the Switch version, an amiibo.
Yeah, that's cool.
Downside. It's not getting a European release. Because of course it isn't.
It's just...
First off, a physical release of a Mega Man game here is about as rare as unicorn shit.
Yeah, it is.
And secondly, let's be honest. I want that amiibo, but they're not going to release it here. You know they're not.
It's just so strange.
Because it's Capcom, and we're Europe.
Yeah,
It won't make financial sense.
Yeah, they're a strange company nowadays.
But Mega Man 11 looks good.
Yeah, it does
get
really look
any
good.
way I can. I swear to God, if I have to import that amiibo, I will.
Yeah. I mean, that shouldn't be the problem. I've ordered stuff from US or Japan or anyway.
You know, if I order it off Amazon
If you want it, you
US,
will get it.
I'd get it quicker than I would if I ordered it off Amazon UK.
Exactly. So that's not the problem if you really want it, but still, it's I don't
It's
know.
just annoying.
Yeah. Why? I mean, there's no reason not to release it here. Even for me, who will probably buy it digitally anyway, but I don't see why.
But sticking with Capcom, E3 rumors times, Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah,
Okay,
didn't see that coming.
I mean, I prefer Bayonetta,
Sure.
and
But,
I think DMC5 would have to really revitalize the series
Mm,
after DMC Devil May Cry, which nobody liked.
exactly.
But it would also have to stand up to Devil May Cry 4. So...
Yeah.
I mean, if it exists, cool.
Yeah, not bad. I mean,
Yeah, that's my full opinion of Devil May Cry in a nutshell. I think Bayonetta's better because Hideki Kamiya made the first Devil May Cry, great game, and then that studio disbanded,
yeah.
and he went off to make, Bayonetta. And it's like, well, you
Yeah.
can see where the talent went.
Yeah, I mean, Platinum Games have been doing quite well, so...
But the other rumor from Capcom is far more interesting than Devil May Cry 5 that we can just expect to exist at some point. Do you remember a few years ago, they had a video of a guy in a white shirt stood in front of a TV, and he said, "We're remaking Resident Evil 2."
Yeah.
And that was it. It's 2018 now. Apparently, the game's nearly done, and it's going to be at E3.
Yeah, I could see that coming.
I forgot it existed.
Me too.
They announced it when it had just been greenlit, and it's like, guys, really? You're not Square Enix.
That's
Capcom
really strange.
announces Resident Evil Remake 2. Nothing comes from it. And then suddenly it drops at E3.
Yeah, I mean, there's a way to keep interest. Why didn't they? They could have I don't know, show us some pictures, some video, just tell us about the game.
I mean, cool. I like the first Resident Evil Remake.
I'm not a big fan of Resident Evil in general, but I mean, it's a big game, so of course.
It's Resident Evil 2. It's the most popular one of the lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Next to 4.
So that's. Yeah, 4. Yeah, 4 is even popular.
Resident Evil 4. Good
And
game.
all those remakes or
So Capcom could have a big E3 if these two leaks are true.
They could.
It just depends to me when these games come out.
Yeah.
I think Resident Evil would be an early 2019 game. Like Monster Hunter was and Resident Evil 7 was.
Mm.
That seems to do well for them.
Yeah, I mean, they had a few questionable decisions in January, but they're doing well, I think. So.
Mostly to do with either Europe or the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes
like
both.
Resident Evil. Yeah, sometimes both. Exactly. I'm kind of glad we won't get that Resident Evil streaming version, but not that I would have got it anyway. It's just mind-boggling. I don't know.
Okay, moving on. So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
at the same time Pokemon was being announced, Bethesda was live streaming.
Yep.
And they streamed for about a day. And then they finally revealed a teaser trailer for something called Fallout 76.
Yeah.
which isn't a main series Fallout game, but we're going to see more at E3. This is probably their big game for this year.
Yeah, I think so.
Apparently, it's like a DayZ online survival game thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how that'll sit with Fallout fans.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I know a few who are really into the. I could see them not being that excited about it.
I mean, here's the thing: we need to see it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
This is going to be a recurring trend.
If they would show us, like, I don't know. I mean, we've waited for like Breath of the Wild for a few years, but at least we saw a few videos between.
Yeah.
So just to know where it's going. But with these announcements.
But then the next thing announced at the same time as Pokemon, literally, was Team Sonic Racing.
Yeah.
The new Sonic Racing game coming out this winter.
Yeah. Which is nice.
Made by Sumo Digital. So it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
Only Sonic characters. It's got team-based gameplay. It's all good. Need to see it.
I might get that. Did they say which platforms it will come on?
PC, Xbox One, PS4, and Switch.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's good.
But again, need to see the game.
Why? Yeah, I know why are you? Yeah, exactly. And
then leaked by Walmart, because it was. And then the next game was leaked by Walmart. Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yep.
I noticed Walmart's doing quite good today.
Yeah, I mean, they should maybe rethink their business more.
Or, go into the fortune-telling business.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Assassin's Creed, but Greece.
Yeah, so...
And apparently they want to completely change up the formula, have dialogue trees and stuff like this. And it's like, okay, but it's still going to be Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I don't really believe that.
And I think it's too soon after Origins.
That too, yeah.
Because Origins was last year.
Those games. That's what I think in general about this series.
That was the problem with Assassin's Creed in the first place.
Exactly.
It's too frequent.
I mean, the very first Assassin's Creed, I played that a lot and I really loved it because it was new, it was something else, completely different, and everything else after that was just similar. I mean, there were some differences, of course.
Here's a bad statistic for you. The first Assassin's Creed was 9 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Think about how many games there's been.
Yeah, too many.
Exactly.
And at some point people are just tired, I think. Or at least I am.
I mean, Greek setting? Cool.
Yeah, that's
a Greek Odyssey? Cool.
Yeah.
Problem. Need to see the damn game.
Yeah.
It's got to be at Ubisoft E3. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. Why did you announce it now? Is it because you know Pokemon and Smash Brothers are going to be there?
Probably. That could be the reason, yeah. And with some of these releases, reveals, kind of thinking why, we discussed the other ones, whether they were leaked or whether was. Sometimes it's good to actually just create this kind of rumors, get people talking about it. So why not?
I mean,
why not reveal it earlier?
Yeah, I suppose.
Give people time to talk about it, get interested.
But there's not much to talk about.
Yeah,
with
that's the
any
thing.
of the last 3 games we talked about. It's like, great, you told us they're coming.
We know the name and that's it. Basically.
Yeah, pretty much. So moving on, the Mario Tennis Aces demo. No, I didn't play this because I don't care about Mario Tennis.
Me neither.
But a lot of people in the Discord did.
But yeah, they really enjoyed it, and
somewhat.
Apart from the lag, which was horrible.
I'm seeing a lot of reports about the lag being horrible. You can see your opponent's connection status. Excuse me, connection status. So you can always bail.
Well, that's nice, but not really a fix for that problem.
But at the same time, it could also just be because it's a free demo.
Yeah, of course it could be, but the thing is, Splatoon and ARMS also had free demos, and they didn't have these problems.
Splatoon did in the first one.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember that.
The first test flight was Splatoon 2.
Really?
In the first hour slot, I couldn't get on.
Okay. I think it went fine for me back then, but it was their first one, apart from Mario Kart, maybe. First multiplayer online game.
It's Mario Tennis, apparently. It's really good. So it's going to do well. It's just that lag.
Yeah.
If that's there in the final game.
Oh, that can't be in the final game.
That'll kill the game.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a try later before the demo runs out, but...
yeah, maybe.
I'm not too excited about it. Don't know.
But a demo I did try was Sushi Striker.
Oh yeah, you mentioned it.
So
how was that?
you get to... it's actually quite substantial. You get to play a fair few bits of the first chapter.
Okay.
It gets you accustomed, introduces you to the leveling up, how the stats are calculated, how the stats work, various mechanics, various things you can do during a battle, how the battles work, how you can get combos, how you can do extra damage, all the bonus effects, various abilities of the sushi sprites you and your opponent can have.
Okay.
It's a very in-depth game, and it's also very, very well animated. Very lively.
That's cool.
Simple, but deep, you know what I mean? Like Smash.
Yeah.
And if I had more money, I'd be buying it this week, but I don't. So
That sounds like a good formula. I mean, from the looks of it, it's not something I would play, I think, but I could see it doing well. I mean, somewhat well, at least.
yeah,
Sure, not, why not?
it's going to be a sleeper hit if nothing else.
Yeah.
So you know what I like about this though? Demos. Do you remember those? Demos are
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
We should have
I
more
don't get
demos in our lives.
why there aren't more of those, exactly. There are some games I'm interested about, but
It's like,
I don't want to buy them.
If
I
you
want to
let
try
me
them
play
out.
a little bit first, you know.
I mean, there's another way to do it. You know what Steam does? If you play a game and you have played it less than 2 hours, you can just give it back. That's another way to do it. 2 hours is enough to decide if you like it or not.
So a physical copy of Diablo 3 has been spotted on Game UK Store and will be released on the 26th of June.
Oh, really? Didn't hear about that.
A new physical release of Diablo,
Huh.
which is on Xbox One and PS4. Oh boy!
Okay.
That's okay.
Why now? Why? What?
I don't know why now. You see, there was rumours of Diablo 3 going to the Switch, but it ain't there. So okay.
That's the thing. What's the reason? What's the point?
I don't know because it's already on PS4 and Xbox One for God's sake.
Exactly. So what are they releasing?
Whatever.
Are they DLCs maybe?
No.
No.
It's just another release of Diablo 3.
What is Blizzard doing?
Oh, whatever.
Well,
Okay, our next interesting topic is PlayStation
That's-
Portable comments from the new head of PlayStation, John Kodera. So,
yeah, that was really interesting.
a complete 180 from his predecessor.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, literally months after he's gone, says the exact opposite thing.
Yeah.
That they don't want to they want to reassess portable gaming. That it can still exist. Now, do I think this means a dedicated handheld? God, no.
Not necessarily, but
Not because Sony loves having control over formats.
Yeah.
They like having proprietary formats. That's what killed the Vita. That's what knocked the PSP. You know,
Too.
they like being proprietary. They can't do another portable. And they can't do a hybrid like the Switch because then it won't surpass the PS4, and then that's going against what they've taught their fans their angle is. So
That said, they could maybe. I mean, I guess they don't have any. But they could, like, for the next PlayStation, do something like the controller with the display, something like the Wii U gamepad, but that's smaller and can function autonomously.
so you think remote play?
Yeah, so like not a hybrid, but I don't know. I mean, that's possible. You could have a home console with a part that you can use portably. I don't know.
That drives the price up there.
Yeah, they do definitely will, but it's PlayStation, obviously. I don't know. I don't know what to make of those comments.
I don't know what they're thinking of. They have a mobile division that apparently, alongside the TV service and VR, is not growing as they would like.
Yeah.
So maybe they mean like expanding into mobile as their portable sector, which I think is smarter. Because we can already see Sony cannot split development between two systems.
Yeah.
They cannot support two systems. They cannot adequately market two systems.
Which is weird because I think they should be able to do that if they want. I don't know.
But they won't. What they'll do is they'll slap the PlayStation brand on something, expect it to sell on that alone, and if it doesn't, they'll drop it.
Yeah, and you can see how it...
They're not even marketing PSVR that much, if at all.
No, they're not, yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah. How is it
no wonder it's slowing down.
Yeah.
Not hard to see why. I don't see ads for PSVR. I don't hear about games coming to PSVR. I don't even know if there are games coming to PSVR.
I think I've seen more ads or anything for Oculus, whatever. Or maybe even Steam. I don't know. Steam VR.
So you want to talk about a fad? It feels like a fad.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's definitely interesting that you said that. I guess it's because of the Switch success. I mean, that must be the reason.
The new guy's smart.
Yeah, he is, obviously. He's more smart than his predecessor.
Knows that while they can't divide their attention, they need to not just kill off an avenue.
Yeah, exactly. That's always better than... Like, why would you...
You know, you'll notice Nintendo didn't stop making home consoles just because the Wii U failed.
Yeah. No way.
They made a compromise. You know, if the Wii U was a success and the 3DS was a failure, we'd have a Wii U successor and their mobile division.
Yeah,
what I think Sony's going to do is PS5 and mobile.
Yeah.
But, you know,
it's always smarter to not close off. There's no reason to do that. You can always keep it open. So that's basically what he did. He opened that avenue again.
Yes, he reopened that avenue. And I know a lot of PlayStation fans just don't care. Certain PlayStation fans on a certain website don't care about handheld gaming, think it's a dead market, but somehow think VR is the next big thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, okay, sure.
I believe VR is a big thing that will come eventually.
No, they turned around and said, oh, portable gaming's dead because the 3DS sold less than the PSP and the PSP was considered a failure. And it's like, yes, the PSP was considered a failure comparatively.
Exactly. That's,
you know, 80 million, 150 million.
Yeah.
But 80 million, in the grand scheme of things, is the same as the PS3, the Xbox 360, the Game Boy Advance. Good.
It's not bad at all.
That is where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's good sales. That's not a failure, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, how could 80 million units be a failure?
And then he turns around and says, but VR is a massive success. And it's like, yes, 2 million units, slowly.
Wow.
With no big games on the future.
Yeah.
Requires buying a separate system for it. Big success.
Yeah.
Portable gaming, dead. Sure. Okay. Don't get an analysis. Don't get an analysis job. You know.
It's not a success now.
Stick to journalism.
Yeah, stick to the facts, maybe.
Because, you know, here comes the Nintendo Switch saying, hey, people like playing games on the go. Alright?
And I'm not even one of those, but I see how it's working for many people.
It's fucking convenient. Yeah. It's more convenient than strapping a screen to your face.
Yeah, that one was actually funny to see.
So you gave someone a choice. Buy a PS4 and then buy this expensive headset for a few games that are mostly pretty much entirely tech demos now I think about it. And strap a screen to your face, that's uncomfortable, you can't use it for too long.
Yeah.
And it may not suit your health, for instance, like it doesn't for me. Or buy one system for what would honestly around about now be about half the price of buying both a PS4 Pro and a PSVR that plays games portably in one smaller unit for half the price. And it's like, well, one's going to have a bigger market share, and I can't possibly tell you which. Yeah, that's just simple maths.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad this guy's not closing off that avenue.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, right now I think VR is even more on PlayStation just because of the number of games. And because there's more happening generally. But I don't see why they should close off that avenue of portable gaming if the other things aren't doing that, apart from the PlayStation 4, of course.
Alright, so let's end on a note that makes me want to drink. PUBG is suing Fortnite in South Korea. And Jesus Christ. They're suing him for copyright infringement.
It's obviously...
So let's just say for a moment that PUBG believes they own the Battle Royale genre despite not being the first to do it.
Exactly.
And they're suing Fortnite because Fortnite's now ahead of PUBG.
And what if those movie makers, maybe the movie was based on a book or something, with the Battle Royale
and
movies.
Here's the sad part.
Maybe they could sue.
This is what makes it very awkward. PUBG says, hey, we own the rights to this genre and various aspects and items and concepts, and then it's like that you guys, Epic Games, infringed on in Fortnite. Epic Games will just turn around and say, okay, you use Unreal Engine 4. Bye.
Yeah, that's really strange because
give them the boot.
Like, yeah, that's like the most stupid thing they could do.
It's like the only reason PUBG exists is because of Epic Games. Then you try and sue them for something so stupid, and you are gonna lose your game.
Yeah,
like
they will not only lose the lawsuit, but everything basically.
It's like, guys, come on. And it's so not only could Epic Games effectively rip Unreal Engine away from them, because Epic Games is the rights holder for that.
Exactly.
But these motherfuckers are actually claiming they own a genre?
They can't. How can you
Nintendo, sue every platformer.
Yeah, and probably a lot of other genres. I don't know.
It's like, are you stupid, man? But then it gets better, because...
it's not even stupid, it's brain dead, basically.
They're throwing the toys out.
Stupid.
They're throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
It gets better because... I could understand copyright infringement on, like, a brand.
Maybe.
But what brand does PUBG have?
None.
They can't claim ownership to the phrase winner, winner, chicken dinner.
No, they can't.
They can't claim ownership to the concept of a frying pan as a weapon because, first off, they weren't the first to do it by a long shot.
No,
and secondly, I could probably
cool.
claim that my frying pan is a copyright of my kitchen.
Sure, yeah.
And they can't claim, the setting, because Fortnite does not use the same setting.
Ooh.
And then it's like, even then, if they want to like claim visual stuff for infringement,
they
you do store-bought assets.
Yeah.
If anything, the people who made those assets should be suing your ass.
Exactly.
Because you're claiming you own those assets. It's like, no, you own the way you use them. You can't sue someone for saying, hey, this looks like the thing we made, when you didn't make the visual look of it.
It's more like, they are more successful than us, so let's sue them.
PUBG is so generic.
Yeah, it is very generic.
That if they had more of an identity like Fortnite did with its own assets and own visual take on things, Fortnite would have a case.
Yeah.
If it used assets, distinct assets. But PUBG's assets are not distinct.
No, but Fortnite's are actually.
And it's like, if anything, really, people could be suing PUBG.
If they wanted. But why even bother? That's what I don't get. I mean, why put the energy and resources in it?
So for God's sake, just fix your game.
Yeah.
Make it run well on the Xbox.
Yeah.
But no, we're gonna go sue Fortnite. Because we think we own a damn genre. No, you don't. Stitch your bitch ass down.
They're not only just getting on thin ice, the ice always has many cracks on it. They will fall into the water. It's just stupid.
It's dumb. I'm legitimately surprised.
It's
that they're this stupid. If it doesn't get thrown out, they'll lose.
Yeah, maybe they don't realize that they don't have a chance. I don't know. And yeah, I mean, you can see the desperation in that move. So I mean, Fortnite is taking over and everything. Of course, they don't know what to do with that, but it's not the solution.
No, it's not. It's stupid. It's bloody stupid. Yeah. That's what this is. It's just dumb.
I mean, don't they have people that think about their actions before they actually put them into place?
They tried suing a mobile developer as well.
Yeah, which... Oh, bless you.
Thank you. They tried suing a mobile developer saying, they have a frying pan in the game. Like, for God's sake, would you just get off your high horse?
Ouch.
They have shipping containers, and that's unique to our... No, it's not.
It's like, is PUBG the first video game ever, or what? That's strange.
It's like, these motherfuckers quite clearly don't know how the industry works.
Yeah, seems like it.
It's so dumb to watch. It's
yeah, I don't know what
you go to the height of a gold mine,
Mm.
and then you try and shoot everybody else down, and instead trip and stumble and bounce off every lump of gold on the way down.
Yeah, something like that.
But they want to be the top rung of a ladder made of solid platinum. Currently, they are the second highest rung on a ladder that is still made of solid fucking platinum.
Exactly. They should be glad that they are where they are right now. They're just basically suicide.